the best rap songs are between like 90 beats per minute and 106 or something. Today Was a Good Day is like 82 beats per minute. Po Pimp was 70. That's not a classic. Then people are like, well, boom bap. I'm like, man, it is possible to love boom bap without hating everything else. What's going down? It's At Odds. Where, oh man, someone submitted a pretty good, damn, I should have had that pulled up, a pretty good slogan. I think it was like at odds, getting even with the industry or something like that. It has a nice ring to it. Aaron likes it. Dame, I can't tell based on his face.
Sounded pretty whack to me, but
Damn, okay. My apologies to the person who submitted that.
I mean, just a little lifting up the hood. I mean, I honestly am hoping we get the MEC back. Just an update on the MEC for the public. We're still going back and forth with radio to see, if they're going to really put in the resources to kind of take it to the next level, or if we can have it back. I'm hoping for the latter. So we'll keep you guys posted, because more people, even here, have referenced the MEC. So we'll keep you posted. That's probably why. Because in the back of my mind, I'm like, I hope we can go back to being the MEC. So that's why all the slogans don't sound good to me, because that's what I'm hoping in the back of my mind.
Okay, well, two things. People don't even know. I don't think that there's an attempt to reclaim MEC. And then also, let's say we reclaim MEC. What's our slogan then? Did we have one?
No, I don't even think I mean, if you guys want one, we can talk about it, but we never had one before.
Wait, why does At Odds need a slogan, but MEC doesn't?
I like slogan and nicknames. For anything, if we're gonna keep this going, I want nicknames and a slogan.
Definitely open to it. I just, Anyway,
here's the slogan right now: get your music distributed for free on all the major platforms. All right, do that. Use the code At Odds, which might change to MEC soon. We don't know, but use the code.
The At Odds will always work. So even if you're watching this episode a year from now, it will still work. We're gonna keep it live.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, make sure I got my Too Lost shirt on now.
TooLost.com, free music distribution for 3 months. They will not remove your music if you decide not to officially join. And if you do, it's one of the cheapest distributors on the planet. So really no risk.
And they're great. There's one person who said tagline ideas and sent us several. One said finding harmony in discord, which I think is cool. Where rhythm meets resistance, which is really cool. Striking a chord in chaos. Behind every beat lies a story. I feel like that's that could be for Payne's podcast. But shout out to Mike O'Mallow Music. I feel like that's a cool one. Or several cool ones.
You can buy a little bit, so I don't know who we shouted out.
Yeah, those were very poetic. So I don't know how you're feeling. I'm having one of those mornings where I'm like, damn, I just don't have anything to post on Twitter today. And I don't want to get in front of a camera and make a video for my YouTube this Friday, because my YouTube views are really starting to piss me off. And I think partially is because we used some forbidden terms in recent episodes, stuff like, whatever the conversation about the Princeton University entailed, etc. So and I have a busy week. I just want to let people know, yes, I get on here and on other social media and preach content creation and why it's important. I never once said you're not going to hate it. And I never once said that I don't hate it some days, because today I don't like it and I don't want to deal with it. And it's funny too, because coincidentally, we've been talking about, I guess we haven't been talking about TJ Chapman, but we talked about some content that he shared when there was the gentleman who encouraged rappers who were unsigned to just get a 6-figure loan, as opposed to, I don't know, I guess doing anything else. I'm still getting comments from people cussing me out for pointing out the obvious irony in choosing to get a loan, potentially a high interest loan that actually has to be paid back, as opposed to getting a label advance, which people have criticized by regarding as a loan, even though it's not. And so, yeah, people are mad about that. Fuck them. But TJ Chapman posted something that was shared by my industry colleague, Don Juan Misery, and he's the post that he shared says, "I will never sign an artist that doesn't utilize social media to the fullest potential." And then, he's a producer himself, so he works with artists and artist development. A lot of people echoed that sentiment. And I imagine, well, Dame, you wouldn't sign an artist, period, right?
Yeah. I mean, like I said before, the list, because that's just one of many requirements that would make me say yes, or even consider working with another artist. But I think it's reasonable to have that requirement at this point. If you hate content creation, you have to find a way not to hate it. Because I feel like if it's that strong, like if you really hate content creation, you either got to offload that to someone else or figure out a way not to hate it. Like do it in a way where you don't. Because if you hate something, there's no way you're going to keep up like creating enough content to get traction unless somebody else is doing it for you. I can't see of any other option. Like you either have to find a way to not hate it, create content that you like, do it on days, stack content on days where you feel less stressed or whatever, or you have to offload that to somebody else that can really create the content that tells the story that you're trying to tell. I don't know if you guys see another option, because if you hate it, you're definitely going to drop the ball at some point.
Okay, how can somebody, just to flesh this idea out, I've not seen an example of this working out well. How can another person create content for you that tells your story in a personal sort of way that connects with people?
Yeah, I mean, like LaRussell creates a lot of content himself, but like he has like people following him with cameras. So like they're cutting that content for him at this point. So if you have somebody that can do that and you don't mind, so if you have a problem just being on camera, then I'm all out of ideas for you.
Yes, because you're making content one way or another. It's either someone else is doing the technical parts of editing it, etc., or there's just no content.
Unless you have some type of like animated series that somebody like I can't. That's the only way I can see you not being in it. Like I don't, and at this point, if we're having this conversation, like my head is going to hurt and I'm not talking, like I'm definitely not working with you. Like, what is the point? Like we've talked about this before. In every era of music, there's going to be a lot of things that you don't want to do, right? You probably there's a lot of people that were nervous and didn't want to sell CDs hand to hand or out of the trunk, right? So if you didn't, if you didn't want to do that, or if you're more introverted or didn't have any sales skills, then a career in music wasn't for you, right? If you weren't going to wait downstairs for an A&R to come out of the building and like have a conversation with them because, you get shy or whatever, then you are never going to get in front of that person. If you weren't going to do the local rap battle and get on stage and you were scared to do that or didn't want to do that or hated doing that, then you are never going to become the best lyricist in your city or the best rapper in your city. This is just the new way to get your music out there. So every era has something that a lot of artists don't want to do. And that's why you've never heard of a lot of those artists, because they've never done those things. So now you don't want to create content. We're not going to hear about you. I just don't see another way to do it.
I get contacted by producers all the time saying, look, I just want to make beats. I don't want to do content creation. I just need a manager to handle my social media, this and that. And you hear a lot of artists saying that too. It's a really stupid way to think, but I'm like, why are you telling me this? A producer will send me a DM saying, I just want to make beats. I don't want to make content. I don't want to do social media. why are you telling me? I just want to make beats. I don't want to do social media. I had to learn this stuff. And, you know, like we said, sometimes you have to do what you don't want to do in order to do what you want to do. And ultimately, all the time
is going to be that way. Like, it's just, there's no way around it.
That's the only.
Yeah, I mean, it's.
And it's like,
I don't wake up hating it every day, because if you wake up hating something every day, your life is going to be pretty miserable and you're never going to do it. So I'm not sitting here just like rage typing on my keyboard a new tweet. It's just that like some days I don't have anything on my mind that's just ready to go. And those days are frustrating because again, the social media content creation space is really based on consistency, if not volume, for a lot of people.
I think that, you know, there are certain ways to kind of to give yourself a break, right? Like if you're stacking content, you know, making a list of all of the ideas that you have, to have like a weekly series helps, right? Because then you kind of know what you're doing. You can stack that content, maybe even bake in a break into the calendar. Say, okay, I'm going to create, you know, 5 videos for this series today. So now you got 5 videos you're dropping for the next 5 weeks, and that means you can, you know, take a break. But if an artist ever came to me and was like, I just don't like posting on social media, because that's kind of where I'm at with Ja, but like he creates content, so I can take that content and then cut it up and make reels. I'm not doing that for anybody else, so don't think that like I'm gonna do that. And you got some ideas like, oh, Dame's gonna just cut my content and post it for me.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get the comments saying, "Oh, Dame, hit me up, cut my content for me."
That's not happening for anybody else. That's just a service I provide for Ja and Ja only, because I've known him.
But Ja paid his dues. You know, Ja did have to do it for a long time, and Ja make bread. Everybody complaining. If you're complaining about it, the likelihood of you making bread for real. And I'm not saying like what Payne is saying, like I don't like it, because I definitely don't like it. I'm trash at content. But it's just, it is what it is, you know. And I feel like with Ja, it's not like he's gonna fight you on it, because his whole business is based off of content.
Yeah. So at this point, if you're complaining about content, you don't really want to do this as a career, because that's what's required today.
Wait, I'm complaining about content right now. I definitely want to do this as a career. I'm just saying, some days you're going to complain about content, but you still get it done.
Point where you're not doing it, man. You actually.
Oh yeah. I saw that Eddie Winslow was trending, and I didn't expect the reason why.
Why is Eddie Winslow?
Because he has a sex tape. That's exactly how I feel, Aaron. That whole show has fallen.
I really thought you were about to say it's like an extended bar or deep dive from Family Matters, you know,
No.
the diss. It's so, this is no judgment, but that's just the 90s TV star to porn star pipeline is wild to me, because it's a lot more consistent.
Wait, that's the thing?
We would like. Yeah, like Full House, definitely. I think they had one of the sisters, if I'm not mistaken, got it, like not just had a tape, was like a porn star, if I'm not mistaken. There's a handful of different shows. I think Boy Meets World, Homegirl Topanga, I think had a sex tape, but I won't consider that porn star. But I feel like there really is, like, because I feel like sex tapes a lot of times could be exploitation or experimentation, but porn star is actually a thing, though. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, there's.
Yeah, that's a career. I don't think that that with family, but there's just a lot of Family Matters controversy going on right now. And I'm not talking about Drake and Kendrick. Talking about the actual show because of the whole Jaleel White controversy. But Full House, you know what blew my mind about Full House? This is a weird fact. Uncle Joey dated Alanis Morissette when she was like freshly 18, which is like some Seinfeld type shit.
No,
I guess not illegal.
I feel like you're saying I don't even want to go into that, but yes.
I don't want to go there either because then we get low YouTube views on our next episode. But the song, Alanis Morissette's breakout song, was about him, and it's like her music did a 180. I don't know what was really behind that, but I don't know if you heard her early music. It was like New Jack swing pop. It wasn't what it became.
Maybe that's artist development. That's interesting. Yeah, I would speculate that they were probably communicating before she was 18. You know what I'm saying? The joint is just weird to me. It's very weird. Very weird.
Well, then it's exactly like some Seinfeld type shit.
Right. To date children and then justify it by saying, well, she was 18. I don't care. Shit is weird.
Yeah.
Where did our guest go?
Kai just texted me and said that he is finding a camera, and so he's going to come up.
It really sounded like he just didn't want to be on camera, didn't want to say that. And maybe I'm wrong, but maybe he just doesn't want to be on camera. We can do the audio only, if that's the way that he prefers.
Yeah, maybe he's quickly running and putting on a shirt that doesn't have an offensive slogan on it or something. I'm kidding. That's a bad joke.
I'm gonna fix my chair real quick before if we're gonna bring up another topic. I feel like my leg is about to break.
And just getting back to the content stuff, just so we fill this space. But I think a lot of people don't like content just because their content hasn't gotten the traction yet. So because they have low view, like if they created content and the content just like went viral immediately, they would love content. I don't know. I mean, there's buckets, right? There's people that, don't want to create content, but I think there is a very big bucket of people that would love content if their content did well.
Well, I've known many people. Kai, I'll give you a proper introduction in a second. This is hot take time, but you tweet a lot. You create content. Do you hate creating content some days?
Like in terms of media or like music or just in general?
Anything non-musical. Do you just feel like, damn, it's another day. I got to come up with something witty for Twitter. I got to I don't know what your overall content strategy is.
Sometimes, yeah. Like more so like on Instagram, because I feel like that's a algorithm you have to feed a lot more than Twitter in terms of like showing face and like posting on your stories. So like for that, it's a bit like, damn, I got to post today. Like I don't want to.
But you got endless tweets.
Yeah, I could tweet like all day. Like I don't know, that's just me.
But there you go. He found his pocket. I feel like you got to find it's a happy middle ground of like what you can do, enjoy doing. You got to find the platform that you really want to lean into. I mean, it'd be ideal if you take advantage of every single platform, but if you find an audience on a particular platform and you found your voice and kind of your lane, then lean into that. And then, you can share, even from Twitter, you can share some of that content or use what's working from Twitter and maybe post less frequently on Instagram.
All I'm saying is I know artists who will get in a good rhythm of something and it's working and then they just stop doing it. And like my big thing was when I was in a group with a rapper, we had just gotten our Sprite check and then he was like, nah, fuck it, cocaine. And that was the end of us. Which is like, it's funny now because it happened, 15 years ago, but it was terrible then. I'm like, damn, I lost a friend and this whole group I was in crashed and burned.
That sounds like a deeper issue than just I don't like content.
No, it was, but it was like pulling teeth to get him and other people in the whole team to just like, this was the MySpace era. So I'm like, can you just post on MySpace? Can you help me with this? And it was like, no, I can't even do that, dog. I'm like, why? It's the easiest shit in the world. I'm not asking you to fix my car. Like, come on, man. It's just, anyway. So let's give our guest a proper introduction. Kai, welcome. Thank you for troubleshooting with us and getting the video right. I mean, you could have just stayed creepy and not done visuals, but
it's all good.
Well, we appreciate it. How are you feeling today? So you're a producer, you're a composer, a recording artist, pop star. What else?
Yeah, pop star is stretch, but maybe one day we can get there.
Well, I don't know. If pop is for popularity, we're going to talk about some of the recent popularity, but just quick background information, because I don't know as much as I'd like to know about your career. So would you consider yourself more of a producer or more of a recording artist? Or
more of a recording artist. I don't produce as much.
But did you recently work with Camila Cabello or something for something?
So I'm gonna go over that tweet. A lot of producers, there's a huge group chat of producers. Every single producer has been claiming, oh, I've done the drums on this. I've done the melody on this. Because there's nothing to hear in the snippet but noise. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to say that too. And for some reason, people believe me on that one. But it's everybody else said that too. Why is it just my tweet getting singled out? I'm not the producer guy.
There you go. Content creation 101. It worked on me because I wasn't familiar with the meme.
Because people were like, oh, what drums? And if you hear it, there's no drums really in that little snippet. All you can hear is the tour bus and her.
Okay, well now that's funny, and my greatest weapon has been used against me, which is sarcasm. How would you describe your sound as a recording artist?
So I guess to compare adjacent artists in terms of the sound I'm going for right now. So when I first started making music, it was more so in the plug sphere, old Cardi, I would say Red album cover Cardi, 2014, 2015 stuff. And then now, so I've more shifted into using less autotune and maybe speeding stuff up more. So I guess to compare, if you guys know Lorado or Earl Sweatshirt, amongst that kind of realm, maybe even Mike is about what I'm using or what I'm doing right now at this point in time.
Dope.
How would you even classify that? Because it seems like when I listen to it, it is the Cardi, but it's distorted and almost taking some of the aesthetic from some of the hyper pop groups.
Honestly, don't really know what I would say. I would just to save face and to save categorizing myself, I'm gonna just say it's rap. We're just making rap at this point.
All right, I respect that because
I wouldn't even know what to call it myself.
That's fair. A lot of people try to force stuff into subgenres, and I never wanted rap to turn into EDM, where people are like, "That's not dubstep. That's post dubstep." Whatever the fuck we're gonna call it. That's futuristic dubstep, post two-step rhythm based music, and just rap.
I feel like that does happen. That's when to me, I consider somebody an old head when they can't accept more genre bending sounds in hip hop, or less mainstream. You know what I'm saying? The moment somebody's that's not hip hop, he's not rapping, I'm like, you're old. You know what I'm saying? Because it may not be your flavor or realm or your understanding of it. But I feel like the moment that you try to bar something out, especially to a genre that's as disruptive as rap or hip hop / both, then I think, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and there was a tweet the other day that was going around where someone said the best rap songs are between 90 beats per minute and 106 or something, and there was some disagreement there. And I'm like, even And you're from Atlanta, Aaron. So Atlanta pushed the envelope on a lot of this stuff. But I'm like, Today Was a Good Day is like 82 beats per minute. That's not a classic. Po Pimp was 70. That's not a classic. But then people are like, well, boom bap. I'm like, man, it's possible to love boom bap without hating everything else. It really is. I swear.